Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. For the past couple of days, we have been live streaming Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, I've always ignored this game because every time I heard people talk about it, they always talked about, oh man, it's so realistic, and things are so difficult and so challenging in the game, and it makes you really, really feel the realism of everything. And there was a whole slew of people that are like, this is why I hate the game because it's so realistic, it's not fun. And so to me, I kind of looked at Kingdom Come like a different shade of the Dark Souls games where the challenge is the point. And you all know, for me, the challenge of the encounters or the gameplay is not the point for me. I'm all about dialogue, writing, story, narrative. That's what matters to me. And so I decided quickly, all right, Kingdom Come is not my type of game, but hey, shout out to all the people who enjoy it. Then the trailer for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 came out. And that trailer really put the story of Henry first and foremost and made it clear this is a story about vengeance, about him trying to find these people who have wronged him, but even more importantly, deal with the morality of this journey that he's on. And when I looked at the trailer, I was like, this seems like an awfully narrative heavy game. This feels like the type of game I would really, really enjoy. And so based off that trailer, I said, you know what? Let me go on ahead and circle back and play Kingdom Come and see whether or not this is the type of series I might want to get into. And so that's what motivated me to start this live streams. Now, I want to get into my thoughts after the first 10, 15 hours I've had with the game. But first, let me make it clear what I'm hoping to get out of this playthrough. So first and foremost, obviously, I want to be prepared for the story of Kingdom Come 2. I want to know everything that happens in Kingdom Come, so everything that happens in its sequel will be clear and consistent, and I'll be able to pick up on it easily. But another thing I want to be able to do is immerse myself in a completely different type of culture. I love doing this in games. I love when games give me a completely different slice of life that I know nothing about and say, hey, let us show you what this is really like. Allow us to introduce you to these different types of people. It's one of the reasons why I love traveling so much, but I've never been to Bohemia before. And so I haven't seen these type of places that we're walking through, and the entire experience thus far has been really, really cool from that standpoint. I really hope that that continues. And on that same note, one of the advantages of live streaming this game is that so many people on live stream comment about historical facts, whether it be the people that we're talking to or the places that we walk through. They'll comment about, hey, I've been there, it still looks like that to this day, or hey, this is such and such a historical figure. Here's some little tidbit that this character did after the events of the game are already finished. I thought all of that was super, super cool. Now, believe it or not, another aspect of the game that I'm really enjoying is the challenge of it. It's been a while since I've played a really, really challenging game. Of course, Wrath of the Righteous was very challenging when it came out, but I've already been playing that game for years, so I know the ins and outs of it. I can get through those encounters with no problem. And even when Baldur's Gate 3 came out, to me, tactical mode wasn't really all that, or rather tactician, wasn't really all that challenging. And the first time I played it on normal, so I never really had a huge issue with that game either. So it's been a while since I played a game where when combat encounters start, I really have to think through, okay, how am I going to approach this? And how am I going to try to make sure I get out of this situation alive? And I've died a ton already in this game. And there are many things that my character is absolutely terrible at. And honestly, that's all been fun. It's actually been nice playing a game that I'm not super good at right now, but hopefully I'm going to get better and better as the weeks go by. And then the last reason I wanted to play this game, and I know some of you are going to be very, very irritated that I even brought this up, but I'm a black man. I'm always going to come from that perspective, all right? I announced publicly that I was going to play this game on both YouTube and Twitter, and I think Discord as well, right? And I had people reach out to me, basically saying that, hey, War Studios is racist. Some of their devs are basically Nazis. The Kingdom Come Deliverance game is essentially a right-wing fantasy land. World Studios came out publicly and delighted in the fact that there were no black people in there. This is, it basically is right-wing bullshit, is what they're saying, right? And when I hear stuff like that, I never want to just take it at face value. I want to experience something for myself so I can make my own decision and considerations about how I feel regarding a particular product, right? Now, I'm only 10 hours into the experience, so maybe I'll feel completely differently at hour 80, but thus far, I don't think these complaints hold up. And this does not seem like the type of game that black people should be in. All right. This is a game about white people beating up, screwing over, stealing from, and massacring other white people. This is not black folks' business. I don't think we need to be in this game at all. It was about an hour into my game when a place where I was at was being overrun, and I saw this little scene of me running away from the chaos, and there's this white woman laying on the floor being dragged by her head by a soldier, presumably for some terrible things to happen to her. And the first thing, I didn't say it on stream, but the first thing I thought in my mind was like, yeah, that could have been a sister. Do I want to see that? No. I'm good. The Bohemians can absolutely have this. This whole Civil War situation, no, I don't think black folks need to be in this game. That's how I feel right now. Again, maybe 80 hours in, I'm going to feel completely differently, but right now, it's good exactly the way that it is. So all of that together is what I want to learn more about and what I'm hoping to get out of that playthrough. So now with all that being said, after 10 hours, where do I stand on the game? The intro, in my opinion, is incredible. Does such an amazing job of hammering home that Henry, really, to be honest, comes off as a bum. He comes off as a guy who isn't respected by his parents, isn't really looked at as a person who's going anywhere. He doesn't know how to read, doesn't know how to fight. And honestly, depending on a couple of decisions that you make early in the game, it doesn't seem like he has very many redeeming qualities either. Like, I definitely played him as someone who's kind of more carefree. But I can already see you can slowly build him into someone who's highly skilled and well respected by the people around him. And I think that's so amazing because a lot of games don't do a good job of making you feel like you're starting from the bottom. A lot of games kind of make it seem like you're starting from the middle. Like right off the bat, you're kind of massacring through people. And just over the course of the game, you find better ways to massacre through people, right? Kingdom Come does not feel like that at all. It really feels like you're bottom of the totem pole. I think that's fantastic. And I think it also does a lot to make you feel more empathetic towards Henry. Some really crazy things happen to him, like more than once. And it all feels natural. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like, I can tell I'm playing a game right now. No, it really does feel like you're watching the story of someone in medieval times who is put into these crazy, awful situations, and he's trying the very best that he can to approach them in a brave and courageous way. Super cool. Makes me very excited to see how things go. So far, I'm really enjoying the combat. Yes, I'm absolutely horrible at it. Yes, it can come off as janky at times, but there's also a real feeling of satisfaction when your enemy finally crumbles to the ground and says, all right, enough is enough. And there's also some real satisfaction in feeling like you did an encounter well. You know, where I had a situation where a couple of people ran up on me because they were trying to collect a debt that they were trying to collect way earlier than they should have, by the way. And finally, they made it clear there was no way I could convince them otherwise. And when it came time for the fisticuffs, I handled business and put both of them down. Felt very good. Felt like, hey, slowly but surely, I'm becoming the knight that I'm absolutely supposed to be. And I gotta be honest with you, everything that I'm experiencing in the game up to now is a great advertisement for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Like the whole time I've been playing this game, they keep talking about, oh, this is better in the new game, and oh, they improved this. And I already can't wait to see how the story continues. And so I'm slowly but surely understanding why there's such a big hype train and why so many people feel like this title is going to be fantastic. Speaking of which, another thing that I've really been enjoying, believe it or not, is the passionate fans. I have more backseat drivers in my Kingdom Come Deliverance stream than I have ever had for any game I have ever live streamed on the channel. Period. More than Wrath of the Righteous, more than Baldur's Gate 3, more than any other game you could think of. People are constantly chiming in. Do this, do that, go here, do this. This is what should be done. You're not doing this the right way, blah, blah, blah. I'm perfectly fine with it because it just shows how passionate people feel about the game, how it really matters to them, and how from their standpoint, no, there's a right way to do this. You're doing things the wrong way. And honestly, I feel like it's forcing me to be better as a host, because when I look back at some of my streams, I can see, I let this person lead me around a little bit and I should have just done what I wanted to do. You know, I've never had to deal with this before on the stream. So it's cool all the way around. I really enjoy playing something that a lot of people feel passionate about and it means something to them. And also I enjoy this experience of, hey, sharpening my own skills as a host and making sure like, hey, be focused on what is going to give people the best experience. Playing the game the best way or getting the best ending or getting the best outcome of a quest is not as important as playing the game your way and ensuring that the folks that are sitting back home are enjoying watching you do that. All right. And so it's been a cool experience all the way around. I'm definitely enjoying that aspect of it. What I'm not enjoying quite as much is the jankiness of the game. And this Kingdom Come is absolutely Euro jank. I've had a couple of people try to say otherwise, that no, it's not janky. You all just don't understand it. You all just can't use it enough. No, you can't. You can fool some of the people some of the time. You can't fool all the people all the time. This game is absolutely Euro jank. I had to restart a freaking game because I backed out of a stable with a horse and it clipped into the roof and I couldn't get out. Switching between the bow and a melee weapon is super more cumbersome than it should be, and it doesn't visually show up on the screen the way that it should as well. It's just, I could go through a dozen different things. I probably will during my review. This game is just janky. It is. That doesn't mean it's a bad game. Absolutely not. But it does mean it doesn't have the level of polish that you might expect from other similar types of titles. And it's important to keep in mind, this is Warhorse's first ever venture. So it kind of makes sense that it's not going to be as polished, it's not going to be as clean as some of the other titles that we have seen from much more well-established developers. But for all of the reasons that I've already stated before, I do absolutely feel like the game is still worth playing. The other aspect of this game that I don't appreciate is there have definitely been a couple of situations where I felt like there was not nearly enough information given to the player. This game, it at least appears, loves giving you quests where you have large, wide open spaces and are expected to walk around fighting this one specific thing that can be in a very remote part of the area you're looking in. Now, usually there's supposed to be a trail or some sort of signal you can look for in order to be able to find this stuff. In my experience, it's too obscure. It's too obscure and it's too easy for the player to end up roaming around and around trying to find one thing. And it's a huge pet peeve of mine for developers to waste your time. And that's the way I feel when I'm playing some of those quests. It feels like the developers purposefully give you something that they know is going to take an extended amount of time to pad the overall timeline of the game. I don't like that. And so in my first 10 hours, I've already had a couple of quests that were like that. It was honestly to the point the chap jumped in and was like, look, this is where it is. Because I could tell they were tired of looking at it as well. And so those are a couple of areas where I feel like the game could be better. But overall, I'm having a great time. I'm really enjoying Kingdom Come Deliverance. I think it's especially strong from a narrative, world building, and writing standpoint. The writing in this game has been phenomenal. The voice acting in this game has been phenomenal. And a lot of the animations that characters use, even while they're talking, it just drives home very personal mannerisms. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan from a story standpoint of what this game is doing. And again, it makes me even more excited for its sequel and more excited for the rest of what this playthrough is going to be like. I'm going to do everything in my power to ensure we are finished with Kingdom Come before the second one comes out. Anyway, those are my thoughts. That's my initial impressions of the game, along with why I decided to play this game in the first place. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.